Our next drawing is project 4-2, the B-size mechanical border. To start this drawing, first we're going to establish some limits. So we're going to type the word limits. The lower left hand corner is still going to be 0, 0. And so you press enter for the default. And the upper right hand corner is going to be 17, 11. Next, we're going to do a zoom all. So I'm going to come to my navigation bar on the side and choose the arrow below the zoom command for zoom extents and choose zoom all. Then next, I'm going to begin with a rectangle shape starting at the coordinates 0.5, 0.5. So rectangle, I'm going to use 0.5, comma, 0.5. Enter. Next, I'm going to type the letter D for dimensions. And the dimensions of our rectangle is going to be 16 on the X, 10 on the Y. And I'm going to take my mouse and click in the upper right hand corner. To start this drawing, I'm going to produce a series of offsets. And but before I do that, I want to create one unique layer to stick out. So I'm going to go up here to layers properties. And this is something that should be done prior to drawing the image, but I'm going to kind of skip around. I'm going to call this construction line. So again, you go to new layer, you'll give it its name, and I'm going to give it a color that sticks out, like this pink here. Next, I'm going to make sure that it's a non-printable layer. The line weight is default, and the transparency is about a 50. And I'm going to close out this box. I'm going to change into construction. I'm going to go to my draw command and choose the construction line. From here, I'm going to start in this bottom corner, and I'm going to create a construction line on this corner. And now it's going to ask for a second construction line, but I'm going to hit the escape key to stop that. Then next, I'm going to go to offset, and I'm going to offset the construction line a series of distances. The first one is going to be 0.25. Click the line. I'm going to click above it. I'm going to press enter twice. That is the command, but reactivates the same command. And I'm going to type in 0.50. Click the new line and click up. Hit enter twice. 0.625. Click the same line. Click up. Hit enter twice. 0.50. Same line. Click up. Alright. Then next, I'm going to hit enter to end the offset command. I'm going to go back to my construction line command. So under the draw commands in the extended menu, I'm going to click it. This time I'm going to choose the vertical option down below. And I'm going to click that same corner and press enter. Again, I'm going to go to offset and do a series of distances. The first one being 1.75. I press enter twice. The next one is 1.50. Press enter, which I need to click the line over. Now press enter twice. This will be 1.0. And click the line and click over. Alright, and then I'm going to hit escape to end the construction line offsets. Now, in this area here will be where we will draw our invisible lines to form this part of the title block. So I'm going to go to my line command, and I'm going to start at this particular corner and go straight across. But before I do that, I need to change the layer to 0. Now go to my line command and then go across to the intersection, and I should be able to come straight down. I hit escape. I'm going to go back to my line command, and I'm going to go across again. Hit escape, go back to the line command, and go across again. Hit escape, go back to the line command, go across. Again, with the object snap, it works great because you will have the green icons to identify the intersections. So from here to here, I would go from here to here. So that produces the first part of your title block out of chapter 4. However, your exercise really comes out of chapter 5 with a few additional add-ons to the title block. So what I'm going to do is some more offsets with the construction lines that I have. So I'll go to offset. I'm going to type 2.75. Click the original line and click over. Press enter twice. I'm going to do 0.38. Click the original line and click over. Hit enter twice. I'm going to type in 7. Click the original line, click over. This time I'm going to type 1.125, and I'm going to click this line here and click over to the left. Press enter twice. The next number is 1.375. Press enter, and I'm going to click this line here and click to the left. Now when you click to the left, you can click in any location. It doesn't matter as long as it's to the left of the line that you're working with. I'm going to press enter twice, and I'm going to type 2.75. Click the last line here and over to the left. Alright. And I'm going to hit enter to end the offset command, and now I'm going to begin drawing some more parts to the title block. So I'm going to my line command, and right here at this location, I'm going to draw a vertical line up. At this location, another vertical line. Hit escape. At this location, another vertical line. Now this area, I'm going to continue this top line all the way across to this particular corner and come straight down. Alright. Next, we're going to do some more offsets for this section here. And we're going to begin with 0.375 and press enter. And what we're going to do is click the original bottom line, construction line, and click up. We'll click that line and click up. The next line, click up. Now, this time it's important that you follow the construction lines that you created so that it won't be confusing on which line is which, okay? Because as time goes on, it'll get very confusing in this area. So at the line command, to distinguish where we need to begin, I'm going to start at this particular intersection. And I'm going to go all the way across to the end. I'm going to hit escape to end that line command. The next will be from this location to here. Next, this location to here. And then finally, here to here. My last line will be a vertical line that'll be going from this location up to the top. I'll create one more line from this location down. Again, notice when I create these construction lines that all my white lines are pretty much overlapping them. So again, this is a great technique to use to help create shapes that are a series of parallel lines. Now, what I'm going to do is go through and delete all these construction lines except for the original here to the right. So I selected them all, and I'm going to hit the delete key. And to build the top part of the shape, I'm going to do some more offsets from the original line, beginning with 1.0. I click the original line, click over to the left. I press enter twice, 1.875. Click the original line, click over to the left. Next will be 5.5. I click the original line and to the left. Next will be 0.50. Click the original line to the right this time. Hit enter twice. 0.875. Click the far left line and then to the right. Next, we will hit the enter key to cancel the offset command. And now we need to create some additional construction lines at the top. So I'm going to change my layer back to construction. I'm going to go to the draw, get the construction line, and I'm going to choose the horizontal, click this corner, and press enter. Going to the offset command, I'm typing 0.25, click the top line, and then down below it. Click the next line and below it. Hit enter to end the offset command. And lastly, we'll go back to the line command. So we're going to change the layer back to the 0. Go to line, and we complete the rest of the shape. So starting at the far left line, I come down, click that intersection, and then back over to this side and click. Going to my line command again, going straight across, back to the line, and I'm going to create some series of vertical lines. Remember to either hit escape or enter to cancel out the rest of the line command so you can start a new line. Alright, so at this time, the mechanical B-size border image is complete. One thing you could do is turn the light bulb off for construction lines so they all disappear, or you can simply delete them. It's totally up to you. At this time, go ahead and save your work. This next video is for project 5-1, the calculator. Again, you will start a new drawing, and first we need to change a couple settings. So we begin down here at the very bottom where your snap and grid mode is located in your status bar. You're going to right click and go to grid settings. You're going to change your snap spacing to 1/16 of an inch, or just 1/16. And as far as your grid spacing, because I hit enter, I'm going to go back to the settings box. You're going to change your grid spacing to 0.25. When you make this change, it automatically goes into the Y, so you don't have to retype it. It's something that the program does. You want to make sure that the object snap is on and your grid is on. And we're going to also go to the object snap tab and make sure that endpoint, midpoint, center, quadrant, intersection, perpendicular, and extension are selected, and hit OK. To begin this drawing, we're going to begin with a rectangle. So we'll type command rectangle, or you can go to the icon at the very top. And for the first corner point, we're going to start at 0, 0. Then next, we're going to create the upper right hand corner, which would be 3.5, comma, 6. So 3.5 on the X, 6 on the Y. Next, we're going to use the offset command, which is the icon up here. You'll click it. It's going to ask for an offset distance. That distance is going to be a 1/16 of an inch. So you'll type 1/16, press enter. You're going to select the box and you're going to click in the inside of the box anywhere. You will hit enter to exit the command. Next, we will do a rectangle shape. So rectangle. And for that first quarter point, again, I'm going to zoom in to this very bottom. And remember, my mouse snapped at every 1/16 of an inch. So every time this mouse jumps, it's a 1/16 of an inch. Based on the textbook's dimensions, the first button is 0.25 off the quarter from the bottom line up. And then it's another 0.25 over. So as you can see, I have my mouse tracking from the corner up, as you can see, perpendicular at 0.25. So I have the 25 this direction. Now I'm going to go to the right another 0.25, which should be eighth at this location. Another way to verify that I'm at the 0.25 location is if you look at the very bottom, you'll notice my coordinates, 0.25 on the X, 0.25 on Y, right beside the model button. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click to establish my rectangle bottom corner, and then for my upper right hand corner, I'm not going to type in the coordinates. I'm going to type in the actual dimensions of the shape. So I'm going to type D for dimensions and press enter. The length is always the X, so it's going to be 0.5 on the X, 0.25 on the Y. And as you can see, it established my box. And the last thing I need to do is take my mouse and click in the far right hand corner. To do the reason why we do this is because after you type the dimensions of the rectangle shape, it follows your mouse. So to put it in its proper position, you want to make sure you click it in the quadrant that it needs to be in. So next will be to duplicate these rectangles to create these different rows and columns that we have for this calculator. The command that's going to best use for this is the array command. So you click on the array. I'm going to select the rectangle box. I'm going to press enter. And as you can see, the default is always going to be 4 columns, 3 rows. And basically, we're going to add an additional column to make it 5. And for the rows, we're going to type 7. Now, what's neat about this program is it gives you a preview of, prior to actually confirming your rows and columns. But notice again, my rows and columns, they're not in the proper position yet. So where it says between, my column spacing needs to be changed. To determine column spacing, you always calculate the actual shape plus the space. So when it comes to the space, it's considered to be a eighth of an inch. So here I'm going to type 0.625 because the shape is 0.50 and another eighth would make it 625. For the row spacing, again, the shape is 0.25 and an additional eighth would make it 375, which is already typed in. So this time you would go and make sure that in the property section that associative is turned off. And to know if it's turned off, it should be gray. If the button is blue, that means it's on. So make sure that it's gray. And then close the array. Next is to do our triangle shapes in the middle. So that's simply by using the line command. I'm going to start from this corner, go to the midpoints, and then back down. And I'm going to hit the enter button to finish that command. I'm going to go back to line, start from this corner to the midpoint and back to this corner and press enter. Do the same for the opposite side, to the midpoint, back to the corner. Again from the corner to the midpoint and back to this corner. Now for the circle in the middle, we'll begin with the circle command. I'm going to zoom in on the rectangle shape. Now remember, the rectangle has a height of 0.25 and my snap is still, again, a 1/16 of an inch. So basically I should be able to go in a downwards direction from this midpoint, 2 notches, to get to an eighth, which is right there, as you can see, perpendicular with 0.125, which is an eighth. I'm going to click. Now the circle itself is going to have a radius of a 1/16 of an inch. So notice where it says polar and it gives me a 0.0625, which is again the first notch over from the midpoint. I'm going to go ahead and click that. If you don't have that polar box explaining that, then you need to turn on the polar tracking to help you with that. Then next comes the oval in the middle. So I'm going to type the word ellipse. and I'm going to choose the option for center down here at the bottom. So I'm going to just click the word center, and I'm going to click on the middle of the circle. Now, at this time, the ellipse command is going to ask the endpoint of the axis. Well, one endpoint is going to be located between the two boxes, which is here. So just follow your snap to get to that center point in between the boxes. Then it's going to also ask for the other axis. So again, wait until it jumps towards the middle between the top box and the shape that you're working with, and click again. Lastly, you just take your box here, select it, and delete it with the delete key on your keyboard to get rid of that. Lastly, we will use the trim feature. So you go up to the top to trim, you'll press enter to select all, and you will go through and trim the unnecessary lines. Again, you will trim in a clockwise or a counterclockwise direction. You will not just randomly click lines, because the trim feature would not work. Okay, so our next thing is the display screen. So I'm gonna hit escape to cancel out the trim, and I'm gonna go back to my rectangular command. Now I'm gonna zoom in on the top corner, and basically I need to find point 25 over. So I'm gonna go over until I find point 25 right there, uh, based off the corner, and then I'm gonna come down 25. So again, from here, I'm coming down a 16th to an eighth, to 3/16 to 1/4. So at this point, I'm going to click to begin my shape. I'm going to press D for dimensions and press enter. The X is 3. The Y is 2.75. And again, I'm going to take my mouse and click in the bottom right hand corner anywhere. Then next, I'm going to go to my offset command. The offset distance is still the same, so I'm going to press enter. I'm going to click the box I just created and click in the inside of it. Lastly, you will save your work. This is your complete calculator. Okay, this is for project 4-5, the residential architectural plan. So we're going to start a new drawing on the AutoCAD program. And first we need to set the linear units to architecture. So you'll type the command units. And in the dialog box, you will change the decimal to architecture and the precision to 1/16th of an inch. You'll make sure that the insertion scale is inches and your angle is in decimal degrees with a 0 precision. You'll hit OK. Next is to set your limits. So we'll type the word limits. In the lower left hand corner, you're going to leave it at 0, 0 for the origin. For the upper right hand corner, it would be 80 feet, comma, 60 feet. And press enter. Next, you would do a zoom, and you would choose all, so that you can see your entire limits in drawing area. And basically we're going to create a building outline from the origin 0, 0. And we're going to go in a counterclockwise direction. So we're going to start the line command. The first point will be 0, 0, and press enter. You'll notice it started right there at the origin. Alright, now for this, what we're going to do is turn the polar tracking on, and we're going to make sure that it's set for 90 degrees. So what should happen is I should be able to point my mouse in towards the right in an upwards direction, to the left, or in a downwards direction, and it should lock in on the 90-degree angles. So with my mouse going towards the right, I'm going to type 22 feet. So 22, and make sure you put the asterisk right behind it to identify it as feet. If you do not, it'll be in inches. Then I'm going to go in a downwards direction, 3 feet, 4 inches. To the right, let's see, do some quick math. 3, 7, 3, 10, 13, 14 feet. I'm going to go back in, 3 feet, 4 inches. And I'm going to continue another 6 feet, 6 inches. Then to the right, 7 feet. And then I'm in an upward direction, 18 feet, 3 inches. Back to the right, 14 feet. Going up, be 6 feet. Then 12 feet to the right. Then going up 24 feet, 9 inches. Then to the left, 12 feet. Going a downwards direction, 2 feet. Back to the left, 3 feet. Up 1 foot, 6 inches. Going across, just do some quick math. Let's see, 2, 6, 7 feet. In a downwards direction, 1 foot, 6 inches. To the left, 4 feet. In a downwards direction, a total of 12 feet, 6 inches. To the left, 20 feet. Upwards, 2 feet. To the left again, 21 feet, 6 inches. In a downwards direction, 5 feet. To the left, 2 feet. Going down, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10 feet. Back to the right, another 2 feet. Going in downwards direction, 11 feet. To the left, 1 foot, 6 inches. And then we're going to type the letter C to close the entire shape. Now, we have completely did the outline of the shape. Now, according to my methods, I noticed that I did not create the angles for the bay windows in the 3 different areas. And what I did, I decided to square it off. So we have a command, it's called chamfer, that will help create the bevel edges to form that bay window by just typing in the distances required. So for the front bay window right here, the distance is 3 feet 4 inches. So you're gonna type the letter D and press enter, and it'll be 3 feet 4 inches, and it's gonna ask for a second distance, which will be the same. So all you have to do is press enter, and then next you're gonna click the button for multiple down here at the bottom because we have 2 sides. Now, all you have to do is select the 2 lines to form the shape. I go back to distance, so D, press enter. My next distance will be 2 feet. So 2 feet, press enter for the second distance, and we click the 2 lines to form the shape. Press the D for distance and hit enter. The next distance will be 1 foot 6 inches. The second distance will be the same, so you press enter. And again, we click the 2 lines that form the shape. At this time, you have a complete figure or project 4-5. You will save your work, and this concludes the video.